Maybe I should start calling this live at 11:08 because that seems to be the time that I get my stuff together and I'm actually ready to go live. Okay, so welcome back to the Strategic Stripping Podcast. This is day 6 of our live at 11:08-ish health series, and today I'm going to be reading the book The Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. And I am a 100% believer that everything is in our minds. And so much more than we realize, really. If you trip on some psychedelics, you will understand the same thing. And including the ability for us to heal ourselves is in our mind. I have a air purifier I should probably turn off. Cover myself over. Okay. So I figure I'm gonna read this book, and I'll probably maybe have about half of it finished by the time. Is my heater on? I have half it finished by the time it's 33 minutes has passed. But then I'll maybe finish the rest of it tomorrow, and then I'll combine them and I'll put a meditative track over the background of it and delete all this intro and outro stuff and have just a fully written book by this awesome person. Well, I'll be reading it, but by this guy. So, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go for 33 minutes, but first, I wanted to look for a free download of the book, and because I already bought the audiobook, and I found a testimonial by somebody that I thought was really awesome that I wanted to read. So this is in Reddit, and this guy said that his life completely changed because of this subreddit and because of, the book, The Feeling is the Secret. So he said, when I first came here, I had some big health issues, was broken emotionally and in financial terms. I was lost and couldn't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was really too much negativity all at once. Before I dive deep into my success story, I want to say that I forced myself to come here and read this every single day, and he can wholeheartedly say that the people in this group and a particular person named All Is Mind completely changed his life. So he goes into I'll read all of it. He says that he really wished the moderators would bring this guy back. Apparently, they kicked out All His Mind. I don't know why. He said his posts are true legacy of Neville's ideology and of Neville's mind. He belongs here. At the same time, I'm aware that some people are very jealous of him and hate him. Because he probably reflects in them their negative mind, shows them how negative their mind is. It's interesting when you see somebody else that upsets you for whatever reason, to really wonder, what is it about that person that upsets me? Because chances are it's something they're reflecting a piece of you. I don't know exactly how to explain that, but it's something I've known for a while, that, heard of multiple times, that I find pretty interesting. But he says, excuse me if I feel like if I come across like a fanatic here, but the positive influence that All His Mind had on me is not measurable. And by reading the comments in this post and by going through this book, I am far from being alone. Now, when it comes to my life and what has changed, I feel better than ever. He's healed his, I don't know how to say the word, psoriasis. It was all over his body and getting much worse and worse. This is something that stress really has an effect on, and he was getting worse because he was stressed out, because he was stressed out, because he was getting worse. He says, now I am completely free of that without any drug. It has stopped infections that have come over his body in various places, consistently, again, without the healing of a doctor. He says he's no longer overweight, and he's now considering himself to fit into the fit category. He says, I guess just loving himself has had to reflect on the outside as well. Now I have energy, and depression feels like a bad dream from a long time ago. It's hard to imagine what depression feels like anymore because it feels so far from my reality. His partner that left him is now back and loves him more than ever, he said, just the way he intended. And he said, honestly, I've never had so much attention, love, and care from one person. It feels like bliss. He is almost financially free. His income is growing very fast, and so I have work on my limiting beliefs to not self-sabotage. Because it is growing so fast, something in me is telling me, but this is too much for you. Those are for the big ones. But in general, his life has improved overall in a great way. And now you can maybe see why this person has so much gratitude towards this subreddit and this person, All Is Mind. All because of you folks, and of course because of himself and the book. He's applied this wholeheartedly, and it's incredible to think that all of this has changed for him within just 2 months. Of course, I still have challenges from time to time, but life has never been so great, even during this pandemic. So apparently he just posted this. He feels so great and grateful and blessed. So what he did, and I just find this interesting because, you know, I've had lots of success stories with the law of attraction as well, but right now I could use some success stories too. So I saw this and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and read that because that seems like, you know, something good to hear. So he says what he did was, it's basically very simple. I was cultivating the desirable states just like Neville thought it. But all of that made much more sense because of the people that post in this group and because of All His Mind. Posts, for some reasons, from that guy's words just go straight to his heart and click directly. I'm gonna have to look this guy up because I have a feeling I would really enjoy the stuff written from him as well. And that's why he keeps coming here again and again. Again, the way that I did it was just to live in the desirable states. For example, his psoriasis made him very angry and stressed out, and he just left it alone and focused on having his perfect body, which I think is a brilliant idea. That's the same thing that the lady that put The Secret together, Rhonda Byrne, said that she did, is she focused on her perfect weight. She didn't focus on anything else. Same with having perfect eyesight, and I think with her finances and everything else too. His partner that left him, he said, I just left the whole subject alone and stopped caring about it. Instead, I lived in the feelings of being perfectly loved and adored. And I think this is really important for us to know the end result, what we want at the end, and not necessarily, not think about who it's going to be, right? If your desire is a partner, not thinking about necessarily who it's going to be or how it's going to happen, but just the state of being that you really crave, that you really want. So apparently his partner came back then and is now loving him more than ever. And he says that, it's apparently an excellent relationship. So same with his finances, and he just imagines spending a lot of money. And he said he had fun pretending, just spending all this money in his head with no limits, buying everything that he wanted, and giving away lots of money, which I think is a brilliant idea. Tony Robbins talks about giving, and how he says that it's living is giving, is what he says. That, and it's psychologically, like scientifically is proven that when you give, it shows how much happier people are when they give, which is pretty cool. So he says his wish is for everyone to start using this, and that all these people in this particular group can become like a family. But I think the subreddit is closed. I don't know if that just happened or what. But anyway, I just wanted to read somebody's success story from using this because I thought it was really beautiful. So now on to the book. So, forward. I'm going to do this in my calm, sweet, sexy voice if I can. It says, forward. This book is concerned with the art of realizing your desire. It gives you an account for mechanisms used in the production of the visible world. It is a small book, but not slight. There is a treasure in it, a clearly defined road to the realization of your dreams. Where it is possible to carry conviction to another by means of reasoned argument and detailed instances, this book would be used many times its size. Would be many times its size. It is seldom possible, however, to do so by means of written statements or arguments, since the suspended judgment is always plausible to say that the author was dishonest or deluded, and therefore his evidence was tainted. Consequently, I have purposely omitted all arguments and testimonials and simply challenged the open mind reader to practice the law of consciousness as revealed in this book. Personal success will prove far more convincing than all the books that could be written on the subject. Neville. The feeling is the secret. Chapter 1, Laws and its Operation. The world and all within it is a man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause as well as the substance of the entire world. So it is to consciousness that we must turn if we would discover the secret of creation. Knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all your desires in life. Armed with a working knowledge of this law, you can build and maintain an ideal world. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened to a stream which is divided in two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. It is necessary to understand the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is personal and selective. The subconscious is impersonal and non-selective. The conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. This is very fascinating, you guys. These two aspects are the male and the female divisions of consciousness. The conscious is the male and the subconscious is the female. The conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious receives these ideas and gives form and expression to them. By this law, first conceiving an idea and then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious, all things evolve out of consciousness, and without this sequence, there is not anything made that is made. The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts it as true. Those which the conscious mind feels to be true in a way known only to itself, objectifies and accepts ideas. Therefore, through this power to imagine and feel the freedom, to imagine and feel, and I need to turn this light down, it's burning my eyes. Oh shit, that was way too dark. Maybe I should just turn it off. It feels a lot better. I've used plenty of that red light today. I'm just gonna turn that shit off for right now. Okay. Therefore, through his power to imagine and feel his freedom to choose the idea he will entertain, man has control over creation. Control over the subconscious is accomplished through control of your ideas and feelings. The mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depth of the subconscious, the female aspect or the womb of creation. The subconscious transcends reason and is independent of induction. It contemplates a feeling as fact existing within itself, and on this assumption proceeds to give it expression, like in reality. The creative process begins with an idea and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. Ideas are impressed upon the subconscious through the medium of feeling. I hope you guys are following this. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once felt, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it must be expressed. When it's felt, not when it's thought about, not when you necessarily just see it, when it's felt. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. Therefore, the man who does not control his feelings may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. By control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression. Your feeling, but rather the disciplining of self to imagine and entertain only such feeling as contributes to your happiness. Control of your feeling is all important to a full and happy life. Never entertain an undesirable feeling, nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. This is part of the reason why I don't pay attention to all the shit that goes on in the media, is because I don't want to help recreate more of that. I'm going to cut out all my commentary when I actually put this into a book, by the way. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and I'll just, whatever. Do not dwell on the imperfections of yourself or on others. To do so is to impress the subconscious with these limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel it is done unto you or to another. This is the whole law of a full and happy life. Everything else is commentary. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling or an opposite nature, it must be expressed. And maybe this is exactly why when I would walk into work and I would have girls, I'd hear girls talking about what a shitty night it was, I would just instantly in myself, in my mind, I'd be like, it might be bad for her, but it is going to be a great night for me. I would just say it and it was a stronger feeling than what I was hearing. It was like I knew it's going to be a great night for me, and it worked. The dominant of two feelings is the dominant of the two feelings. I need to make this sound really good while I'm doing it. So, the dominant of the two feelings is the one expressed. I am healthy is a stronger feeling than I will be healthy. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. I am strong is stronger than I will be strong. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, to be realized, the wish must be felt as a state rather than as a state that it is not. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. Be careful of your moods and feelings, for there is an unbroken connection between your feelings and the visible world. Your body is an emotional filter and bears Your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. Did you hear that? Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. And here we go with a little bit of side commentary. I was looking into ayahuasca last night, and it's one of those psychedelics that I have not done yet that I absolutely will do. And one of the things that he talks about, one of the things that I heard being talked about ayahuasca is the purge that people go through. You throw up when you take this drink. The purge that people go through isn't just purging impurities in your body. It's purging impurities in your soul. Stuff that's been locked deep down into your essence. It's pulling that shit out, putting it in your stomach and releasing it. So, I thought that was pretty cool. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing the feelings that is the beginning of disease, dis-ease in the body and the environment. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or failure for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize. Feeling the reality of the state sought and living and acting on that conviction is always the way that brings miracles. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is a reflective control of the operation of the subconscious. That is control of your ideas and feelings. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is I was like, I don't know what that word is. Nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective. It is impersonable. No respecter of persons. Acts 10:34, Romans 2:11. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. It always accepts as true which feeling you would it always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Feeling is the assent of the subconscious to the truth of that which is declared to be true. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel as true, the subconscious mind can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned, and a change of feeling is a change of pattern. The subconscious never fails to express that which has been impressed upon it. The moment it receives an impression, it begins to work out the ways of how to express it. It accepts the feeling impressed upon it, your feeling as a fact existing within itself, and immediately sets about to produce in the outer world or objective world the exact likeness of that feeling. The subconscious never alters the accepted beliefs of man. It outpictures them to the last detail, whether or not they are beneficial. To impress the subconscious with a desirable state, you must assume the feeling that would be yours had you already realized your wish. In definition, or in defining your objective, you must be concerned only with the objective itself. The manner of expression or the difficulties involved are not to be considered by you. To think feelingly on any state impresses it on the subconscious mind. Therefore, if you dwell on difficulties, barriers, or delay, the subconscious, by its very non-selective nature, accepts the feeling of these difficulties and obstacles as your request and proceeds to produce them in your outer world. This makes me feel like I've been fucking up so much in my life, you know? And I know I've got a lot of it, well, I've got some of it right, but man, like, just by being upset, you're making things worse, you know? The subconscious is the womb of creation. It receives the idea unto itself through the feeling of man. Through the feelings of man. It never changes the idea received, but always gives it form. Hence, the subconscious outpictures the ideas of the imagined and its likeness of the feeling received. To feel a state as hopeless or impossible is to impress the subconscious with the idea of failure. Although the subconscious faithfully serves man, it must not be inferred that the relation is that of a servant to a master, as was anciently conceived. The ancient prophets called it the slave, the servant of man. I'm gonna skip that part. Well, fuck it, I'll read it. I don't like it. Saint Paul personified it as a woman and said, the woman should be subject to man in everything. And that's actually written in the Bible in multiple places, apparently. He gives the different spots where it's found. The subconscious does not serve man. The subconscious does serve man and faithfully gives form to his feelings. However, the subconscious has a distinct distaste for command. Consequently, for compulsion, and responds to persuasion rather than to command. Consequently, it resembles the beloved wife more than the servant. The husband is the head of the wife. Ephesians 5:23. may not be true of the man and woman in their earthly relationship, but it is true of the conscious and the subconscious, or the male and the female aspects of consciousness. The mystery to which Paul referred when he wrote, "This is a great mystery, he that loveth his wife loveth himself," 5:28, which 5:28 is actually the frequency of love, so that's kind of cool. "And they two shall be of one flesh," is simply the mystery of consciousness. Consciousness is really one and undivided, but for creation's sake, it appears to be divided into two. The conscious objective, and the male or the male aspect truly is the head and dominates the subconscious, subjective or female. However, this leadership is not that of the tyrant, but that of the lover. So by assuming the feeling that would be yours already, if you already had it in your possession of your objective, the subconscious is moved to build the exact likeness of your assumption. Your desires are not subconsciously accepted until you assume the feeling of their reality, for only through feeling is an idea subconsciously accepted, and only through the subconscious acceptance is it ever expressed. It is easier to ascribe your feelings to events in the world rather than to admit the conditions of the world reflected. Okay, let me just start that sentence over again. It is easier to ascribe your feelings to events in the world rather than to admit that the conditions of your world reflect that of your feeling, which is so true. My God, I don't want to feel like I've gotten myself into this position, but I have. Like the position that I'm in, but I have, and that's, I need to get myself out of it. However, it is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. As without, so within. Correspondence, the second of the 7 principles of Hermes Trisma, something or other. A man can receive nothing unless it is given him from heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within. They come from the subconscious. It is impossible for you to see other than the contents of your subconscious, your objections, or your let me start that over again too. It is impossible for you to see other than the contents of your consciousness, your world in its every detail, your consciousness objectified. Objectified states bear witness of subconscious expressions. A change of impression results in a change of expression. Okay, I'm going to stop there because we've made it past the, damn it, we're so close to chapter 2 though. I don't even want to keep this. I'm just going to stop there. I don't even want to actually keep this live stream online because I don't like reading when I have anything else on my mind because I just don't feel like I feel like, I'm a little bit distracted, which clearly I am. So I'm probably not even going to bother to actually keep this recording on. I might do it, but I've got a couple people in here. Does anyone want to talk about this? Anyone want to talk about this? Somebody maybe has said something. Let's see. Oh, that's the button. Yeah, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live every night for like a while. I'm gonna go live every night for 24 more days. So, I gotta admit, I really didn't want to do this again tonight, but I figured, well, at least, I got oil on my face. I didn't shower. I'm a little bit of a mess, and I'm not feeling well. So that's something that, that's another part of the reason why I started to read this book is because I need to get myself better and I need to do it fast. So, if anyone doesn't have anything they want to talk about in particular, though, I'm going to go because I'm actually trying to get myself to get into a better sleep pattern because I really need to. So I slept until 5:30 today. Today was a very, very sleepy, not productive day for me. And I think my body really needs to sleep. I can feel myself detoxing from some of the stuff that I'm doing, which, like I said, I'm going to end up talking about all that stuff a little bit later. But for right now, I put coconut oil under my eyes to get rid of the makeup under my eyes. Apparently it's quite visible. I feel like I look like shit. All right, I'm going to go. I hope that you guys have a wonderful night, and I'm probably going to stop doing the reading thing. I don't really like reading because I don't like live because it's distracting to me, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to record the book, and I'll put it online under a different, as just a fully read audiobook with a lovely meditation track over it, so... I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming out, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.